Here's Losi's Micro Trail Trekker, 124 scale crawler. It doesn't get much use, kind of sits around. We've been driving a little bit lately and I determined that it needs a little weight in the wheels. Tips over and it's a little top heavy, so the least I could do is add a little weight in the wheels. Losi sells wheel weights for $7. I didn't think that was too good, especially for a vehicle that sits on the shelf a lot. So I decided to improvise. In doing so, I got a can of BBs and some hot glue and made my own wheel weights. This adds about 3.5–4 grams to each wheel. And I also have another way to add a little bit more. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off all the wheels. We used the T-wrench that came with the kit, because I don't have anything else that fits, and the hex nut is plastic, so if you use too much force or twist too hard on it, it's going to strip the screw, and I don't know of any place where you can get those again quickly. So for safety's sake, let's not strip it. So the first thing I have to do is take the fake bead lock off the back side of each wheel, which I've already done here, in order to install the BBs and the ring of glue to hold the BBs in. And after you get the BBs installed, you reinstall the fake bead lock right back on top of it, and you never know the difference. They also don't come out and are not glued to the wheel itself. They're just glued together, just enough to secure them in place, and the ring helps hold them in as well. Wrong side. We want the bottom. Make sure you don't make the same mistake, because it would be a pain to take all the screws out and have to put them back in because you took the fake rim out of the wrong side. beadlock rims off, we want to pack the wheels with steel bearings. I chose steel because it's got a little more heft than the copper, and each wheel takes 10. I bought a pack of 150 from Walmart for $1. Also got ID'd for them. So that's 10 BBs in each wheel. After you get the BBs in, they're slightly uneven, so you have to pack them in just a little bit. So that they sit. Which basically locks them into place anyway. They're not coming out now at all. So your wheel weights are basically installed without taking your tire off, without having to re-glue, without damaging your tire, and you only had to take one side of the bead lock off. It beats the hell out of your other options. So after you got the BBs packed, just run single bead, thin bead of hot glue around the top of them all. I'm trying to keep it off of the sides of the wheel so that I can remove this later if I need to. So this isn't even a permanent mod. I normally let it run over and tack on the sides 2 or 3 times just to make sure it doesn't come out, which it won't anyway. But there it is. Do it on the other 2. So there's all 4 tires with the BBs installed and glued. The glue is pretty much dry, and that's it. I think it took about 10 minutes to install that, and now it's just as easy as putting the little rim back on. Now, if you want to add about another 1.5 grams to each one of these wheels, you can take these little slugs of solder. I've got this solder from Radio Shack. It's .050 diameter rosin core solder. It's not too heavy, but it's reasonable enough. You can cut these little slugs of the solder and place them in the slots around the wheel well. On each side, that gives you 0.6 grams for a total of just over 1 gram on each side. The slots are on both sides of the wheel, and you just plant these slugs into the slots. It's not the easiest process, but it works, and it gives you over 1 gram more weight per wheel. I'm going to leave them out because I just added 3.5 per wheel, which equals up to just about a 1/2 ounce of weight overall added to the truck, if my math is right today. So now it's just a process of reinstalling the rims and putting them back on the truck. Here we have a little area where the tires not glued, just coming out of the factory unglued. We're going to run a little bit of glue around there, but it's probably a good idea to check your tires to make sure they're all glued before you put them back together. So there's all 4 wheels put back together. Now just throw them back on the truck. So there's the Micro Trail Trekker with the BB weighted wheels installed. Let's go see how she runs.